You know that moment you've just finished typing something and you're about to share it online? It feels completely instant, right? But behind that one simple tap, there's this incredible, invisible journey that your post goes on. So you hit send, poof, it vanishes from your screen, and a moment later, it shows up on your friends' feeds. It's not magic, it doesn't just teleport. So where does it actually go in that split second? Let's trace that path together. All right, let's dive right in. The whole story starts, well, right where you are, with the device in your hand. This is the very first stop on the trip. Okay, so in the language of the internet, your device, your smartphone, your laptop, whatever it is you're using, has a specific name. It's called a client. It's the starting point, the home base for the app you're using. I want you to picture the app you're in as a little house. When you hit send, the app neatly packages up your post into something called a message. Then, to get that message out into the world, it opens up a special digital doorway called a socket. It's like the front door of that house, leading right out to the internet. So where is this message headed? It's on its way to a server. And a server, well, it's basically just a very powerful computer that's on 24/7. Its entire job is to just sit there and listen for requests coming in from clients like your phone and then respond to them. It's the central hub where everything is stored. So our message has left your device and it has a destination, but the internet is massive. It's a huge, complex place. So how does it know how to get where it's going? Well, it turns out it follows a very specific set of rules. You know, it's so easy to think of the internet as this abstract cloud, but it's a real physical thing. It's a massive infrastructure of cables and routers. So a much better way to think of it is like a global highway system, and your little message is a car driving to a very specific address. For any of this to actually work, computers need to be speaking the same language. It's just like how we have social rules for a conversation, a protocol, right? You say hi, I say hi back. You ask a question, I give an answer. Well, computers do pretty much the exact same thing. They use network protocols, which are just the agreed upon rules for having a successful conversation. And for most of what we do on the web, the protocol is called HTTP, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. At its core, it's a really simple two-step dance. Your device, the client, sends a request. The server gets it and sends back a response. That's it. That simple little conversation is happening millions of times a second all over the world. So, by following those rules of the road, our message has successfully navigated the internet highway system. It has finally arrived at its physical destination, a place that is very, very real. This is a data center, a real building, and they are absolutely massive, filled with what feels like endless rows of servers. You see services like Facebook or YouTube, they don't run on just one computer in an office somewhere. No way! They run on huge networks of thousands of servers all humming away inside these giant buildings. Inside, the individual computers are actually called blades. They're these thin servers that look kind of like pizza boxes. They're all stacked up vertically in these tall cabinets called racks. And all of these racks work together to act like one single, incredibly powerful virtual server. This is the actual hardware that powers the services you use every single day. So our message has arrived. The request has been delivered. Now the server has to actually do something with it. And this part right here is where the real magic happens. This flowchart gives you a little peek into how the server thinks. See, it's not just one single program doing all the work. When your request arrives, it kicks off a whole chain reaction, kind of like an assembly line, handing your message off to different specialists that all work together as a team. So let's meet this team. First, you've got a web server program, like Apache. Think of it as the receptionist. It catches the incoming request. Then, it passes the request to a processor, something like PHP, which is really the brains of the operation. The PHP code has all the instructions for what to do. Finally, to save your post permanently, PHP talks to the team's long-term memory, a database like MySQL. The database is the giant digital filing cabinet. It's the permanent memory for the whole social network. And as it says here, there's a reason they use systems like MySQL. They are incredibly fast and powerful, which they have to be to handle the insane amount of data, every post, comment, and like from millions and millions of users. So the PHP brain tells the MySQL database to store your post. The database confirms it's saved, and then the web server sends a little success message all the way back to your phone across those same internet highways. And the wild part is, this all happens in a fraction of a second. Okay, so we followed this whole journey from your phone to the data center and all the way back. But why does this hidden process matter so much? Well, because it's the blueprint for how the modern interactive web actually works. Now, think about your friend for a second. Their phone, which is just another client, remember, sends out its own request to the server asking, hey, anything new? The server checks the database, finds your post that it just saved a moment ago, and sends it on over to your friend's phone to pop up in their feed. And this constant back and forth, this little client-server dance of requests and responses, that is the fundamental pattern that makes the web feel so alive and so dynamic. It's not just a library of static pages, it's a living, breathing conversation between our devices and these powerful central servers. And this isn't just for social media. This architecture powers almost everything you do online. Adding an item to a shopping cart, streaming a video on YouTube, playing an online game, even sending an email. It all kicks off the same journey. A client sends a request to a server, and the server sends a response back. So that simple tap is actually the beginning of a whole conversation. It's an instruction that travels across a global network, follows strict rules of communication, and gets processed by a whole team of specialized software in a faraway data center, all just to connect you with other people. It's a truly beautiful, complex system, hidden behind the simplest interface. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible architectures are quietly and elegantly shaping our daily lives?